MLS listing subscribers, welcome back to another vendor spotlight. As always, I'm your host, Dave Scalora. And we've talked with RPR about, well, we did RPR Mobile, and we also did their AI script writer, and some great. So we brought him back to talk a little different. We're going to go to the commercial world. So I want to introduce Andrea Goodhart, Ernie Bonham. Thanks for coming back. How are you guys doing?
Doing great. Thanks for having us.
Oh,
Yes,
thanks for coming
definitely.
on. Yeah. So it's a great week, I think, to kind of end this year. Like I said, we did the mobile and I think the whole commercial side of the world doesn't really get a lot maybe of the attention it deserves, right? And so it'd be good to kind of shine a light for all those agents, though. Hey, you guys have a fantastic commercial section.
That's right. And there's been so much enhancement and new features within RPR on the commercial side over the last few years. So we just want to, shed some light on that and really emphasize the fact, too, that RPR Commercial is available to all Realtor members. And there's such a large percentage, an increasing number of Realtors that really identify themselves as doing both residential and commercial activities. So it's really important to bring this to light for everybody. So Ernie, you're going to get us started here today.
Ernie, take it away.
Thanks, Andrea. Thanks, Dave. So like Andrea said, RPR Commercial is for every Realtor. It's not just those commercial practitioners that rent out or sell the big office buildings and stuff. It can be any sort of business. And I guess before we start out, let's talk just a little bit about RPR in case you're new to RPR. We're part of the National Association of Realtors. It's provided to you as a member benefit from the National Association, and it's included in your NAR dues. So there's no additional costs, fees, or upgrades. It's 100% paid for. You have everything as part of your membership. And RPR is strictly a Realtor tool. There's no consumer access. There's no public version of this. You have to be an NAR member to use it. So again, it's a real great benefit that you have. As far as RPR Commercial, it's focus on research, just like the first line says. We've got so much information and so much great data that it really helps in your business. You can, look at the site selections. You can do the investor analysis. We've got all kinds of great reports in RPR Commercial that you're going to want to check out. So let's kind of look at this. To me, it's just a great depiction of how the information flows. So we kind of start at the bottom here with the public record data that we collect from all different sources. We add in then the tenant records, the traffic counts, the points of interest, consumer spending and demographics. And then we bring into the equation the listing data, all different resources and places that's coming from. And then at the very top is your knowledge of the market and of the property. So again, it really all fits together and provides that great experience for you. Here are just a couple of statistics. Like Andrea said, we've been adding a lot more resources to our commercial RPR. We've got a lot of lease properties, for sale properties, and of course, a huge amount of off-market properties as well, part of our public record data. And these are just some of the data partners that you'll see when you're on RPR Commercial. Over on the left-hand side is the for lease for sale data partners. We bring in properties from Crexi and Brevitas, Office Space by proxy. And then we also have a lot of great partners over here on the right-hand side. You've got the off-market data coming from Black Knight Financial, Esri with all that great tapestry data, site selection information, evaluate, calibrate, just a lot of great resources. And it's all put into RPR in such a nice way that it's really easy to navigate. And Andrea is going to take us on a little walkthrough of that in just a little bit. But we've got kind of some of the top features that we just want to point out real quick. This just shows some of the on and off market commercial properties. The for lease properties are the ones in yellow. The for sale are the blue. So again, it's all kind of color coordinated so you know what you're looking at. We've got all that great demographic and behavioral consumer information. Again, most of this coming from Esri. but it really gives you a lot of great information about the people that are living in a certain area. They could be customers of a business that you're working with. So it's just a lot of information that you're going to find very beneficial. Again, depending if you're working with investors, you might really want to know about these opportunity zones. They're all flagged and highlighted in RPR. You'll see them when you select that as an option, but they're highlighted in kind of a tan color. And that is, again, a great opportunity to find properties within those opportunity zones as you're working with your clients. The points of interest, you're going to find these quite interesting too when you check them out on RPR. When you're on a map, you'll see the little POI button over on the far right-hand side that stands for points of interest. And you can overlay the map with different businesses. Could be restaurants or daycare centers or banks. And it's kind of nice because we give you a lot of great information about each one of those businesses. As it says here, we're going to give you not only their name and address, but how many employees do they have? How big of a building is it? What are their sales volumes? So you're really going to know a lot about the companies that you're going to see. And maybe one of your clients wants to be in an area where there are similar businesses, and it kind of helps you identify those. The map also gives you some great overlays as far as travel time, distance, traffic counts. Again, you are in control of the area that you want to work in. What do you want to see? And we provide all that great data for you. One of the neatest tools, I think, is this site selection tool where you can see where are the customers for a particular business, and you can evaluate those customers based on, who they are, their age group, ethnic background, what are they spending their money on, shopping, eating out, you just name it. There's just so much great information that you can use to really identify where are these people located that are customers to the business that you're working with. You can see it on the map. There's statistics, and then there's great reports too that you can access. So for instance, here's the trade area report. You can highlight a certain geographic area on a map and then generate the trade area report for that area. It's going to have demographic data, lots of great consumer information. What are they buying? It's also going to give you a 5-year projection of where are these numbers going in the future, so you can use that in your analysis. Here's that trade area analysis or site selection report that I mentioned. Again, you'll see the color-coded map, and you'll see all the great statistics listed to show you which areas have the best match to the people that you're looking for. And all those great data partners that we had on that first slide that I showed you, here's just a little bit more in depth on some of those key players. Esri provides us with all that great tapestry data, which gives us the site selection information, the trade area information. You're just going to see all kinds of great data coming from Esri, and it's just amazing what they all collect. If you want to find a little bit more about Esri, we've got a link here that you can go to, rpr.me/Esri, or you can use the QR code to access some great information about that. We also have CompStack, which is a newer data partner that we brought on board. It's really nice. You have 500 free credits to kind of get started, and then you can use CompStack to find comps for your commercial partners. And what's nice too is as you provide comps back to CompStack, you'll get additional credits, and it's just a wonderful program. And these comps are vetted. They're not just any old property. There's some analysis that goes into it to make sure that these are really good comparable properties. And this just kind of shows you how to access that. You're going to see the additional resources tile here in RPR, and then you can just access CompStack from there. And again, if you would like some additional information about CompStack and how it fits into RPR, just go ahead and hit the QR code there, and it'll take you right to that information. Valuate is another great data partner. We've been working with them for quite a while. They provide just so much great information that you can use when you're working with your clients. You can put spreadsheets together. You can share these. You can run all kinds of different scenarios, multiple investors, flipping properties, you just name it. It's all right there in Valuate. It's, again, included in RPR. It's not something additional, and you can access it not only from the RPR website, but also from the RPR mobile app. And again, if you'd like some information about Valuate, just check it out. Crexi is, again, one of our data partners that's providing some great properties for sale and for lease that's coming from all over the country, and it's available to you, included in RPR. So again, check out all that great Crexi data. If you want to learn a little bit more about them, here you go. And Brevitas is another nationwide data partner that provides properties to RPR. You're going to see those when you're on a property. There'll be listings. Sometimes you might even see multiple listings for the same property, but we collect all that and put it in RPR so it's available for your resources. And just a little bit about RPR Mobile. Again, not only on the website, but also on the mobile app, you have access to all that great commercial data. Here's just a couple of screenshots that we put together. The GPS on your phone kind of tells RPR where you're located, and then we provide some great statistics for you. Not only the properties that are available, but what's the market doing, and then we also provide some great powerful searching that you can use. And when you're on a particular property, again, you can see it on a map. We can provide it in a list as far as other properties that are in the area. And then here's the great detailed information. You'll see the property photos, the list price, all the great information. And then you can easily access calling the agent for setting up a tour or even running reports, again, right on your phone. And then those reports can easily be shared via text or email. So do check out our learning page. Again, it's a great resource. We have specific tutorials just for commercial. You can access those. We also have printable guides, which are just kind of a nice step-by-step how to do certain tasks within RPR Commercial. So do check that out as well. And here's some of those addresses you're going to want to know. Again, the website address, narrpr.com, our blog site where we have, again, all those great resources, the training tools, the printable guides, and then our 24-hour, 7-day-a-week help desk. And let's go over to Andrea. She's going to take us through a live tour, and this is going to be fun. Let's go.
Fantastic.
All
Thank you,
right.
Ernie.
Let's go ahead and I'll get started. So thank you, Ernie. And here we are on the homepage of RPR. And with that, we're going to go straight in on the commercial side. And I want to be able to review and really highlight some of the information that's unique maybe on the property listings for RPR on the commercial side, but also some of the site selection tools and, of course, the unique RPR commercial reports. But keep in mind, RPR Commercial, just like on the residential side, you will see off-market data across the country. And we know that MLSListings here has commercial property types within your MLS. So you'll see those properties, but also, again, through our national data partners, Crexi and Brevitas and some of the others, you'll have access of active properties across the country. So with that, let's get started. We're on our homepage. And right here to the top left, make sure that you are toggling down. It's just a slider from residential to the commercial side of RPR. Once you do that, of course, your property types and price ranges, building and lot square footage, and additional search filters will change based on being on the commercial side. So I'm going to take a couple of different scenarios today, and let's just start with an investor that's interested in a maybe a 5 to 10 unit multifamily property. And that same client, lucky enough, is also looking to then place a special business in or around close to maybe where this property is, because they may be living in one unit and then leasing out the others. So I've just selected Campbell, California, and I clicked on search, but I did have property type selected. And on the commercial side, you will see that you have for sale, for lease properties, as well as doing off-market searches for public record that are properties that are not listed. Obviously, the property types are different on the commercial side. You can select all, you can select an individual or several. So in this case, it's a very focused search. We're looking at multifamily. A little tip I will tell you that in some counties around the country, you'll see that some properties may have a use code that's more general. So in many cases, I would say also select commercial if you're doing a more specialized search in retail or shopping centers or that nature. So in this case, we're going to look at multifamily, and I had selected for this particular investor less than 5 million. I've kept this broad as far as building or lot information, and then I, of course, had clicked search here. Well, in Campbell, California, there are 2 properties that are currently active that meet that criteria. And when you're searching, just remember, just like on the residential side, you can do the list view or the grid view with a little bit more information, or the map view. So quickly, if we look at the map that has the boundaries of Campbell, California, you'll see the location of these 2 properties. But since there's only 2, let's go back and take a look at these properties. And obviously, you'll see that they're active, multifamily. Little extra icons here. There's been a price decrease here. This is a new property. If we wanted to favorite any of these for later, we can always do that. And I think since there's very few, we're going to save these couple for a look. So, and remember too, that you're going to see multiple listings sometimes flagged. And this is probably more prevalent on commercial property sometimes than residential, meaning we start with that public record property here on Smith, but maybe this is listed in MLS listings on a multifamily property, but maybe that agent also has it listed in Crexi or Brevitas or others. So that's what you will see here. If it's also on a residential side as well as the commercial, you'll see that type of reference. Or here, we actually see that there's 3 listings. So we see the residential side in MLS listings, where it's displayed in both, so that agents might be searching one location, residential or commercial, and you see the commercial, but you'll see an arrow here. And then this property is also listed in Crexi. So each one of those may have some extra information for each listing. So let's take a look at one of these properties here on Thomasina Court. And you'll see your navigation of your property information, map, trade area, and any updates. Recently, this year, we have again refined and updated and enhanced some of the property details on the commercial side through our public records provider. So you'll see some additional information, even time owned, year built, building quality, et cetera. And it's right up front at the top of the property. So you'll see that this one is new and active, the list price, when it became active, and even the last closed price and date and price per square footage. You'll see our new enhanced media viewer as well with additional images. And then as we move through, we'll see our description, which on the commercial side is very valuable. A lot of information gets placed in the remarks section. Then we'll move down, and again, on commercial properties, I think sometimes you don't see as much come from public records, though we've continued to garner kind of additional data fields from our public record suppliers. It's really nice to see listing facts next to public facts. And of course, you can place your own information and save those changes. And remember, any updates or notes that you place into RPR are under your account only. Property features, again, from the listing, public. And again, we've added some additional fields here that are available. If this was more of a retail or an office building, many times you'll see through our partner SMR tenant data that gets updated a few times a year, but you can also add tenants. And again, that's for your own reference, but you can literally jump in and add information and contact info if you're familiar with that particular property. Owner data, critical. Sometimes it's difficult to identify the owner or companies that own that particular property. You'll see that. Your financing details. And this is another area where we've really this year enhanced data elements on the commercial side. So there's different risk scores, if there were previous defaults, if there's special risk factors related to that commercial property. Legal description all there. If we do have plat maps, that will be available for you as well. And then we go into listing history of the current listing and if there were any previous listings. And wow, this property, we have quite a significant level of information, and whether they were expired or canceled listings or whether it was closed, for example, here in 2020. And you'll see that information as well as public records for deed, mortgage, and tax. Very important sometimes on these commercial properties, as with any, to see what the values have been through the years. So that's a compilation that you can view. So as we scroll back up, again, let's kind of take a look at the right side, because you've got your interactive map and all those particular items that Ernie had mentioned as far as POIs and driving times. POIs here are all here on the map and it shows your subject property. But then you'll also see pointed out other properties here that are public record that may not be for sale, but they're also multifamily properties. So you'll see that this property is in an area where there's several multifamily properties available. So again, keep this in mind as far as your different data layers. Again, find things like flood zones, median prices, different demographic indicators for that visual on the map. It really helps with your research so that you'll see those items as well. So when we kind of go back to our property information here, and we looked at that map, additional resources, and as Ernie mentioned, Valuate, which is an investment analysis tool. And because I picked a multifamily, I will kind of point out that this investment analysis tool is extremely powerful and even provides, some of the analysis features, such as a multifamily unit type analysis where you can put in renovations and it's at a per unit basis. So this is sometimes difficult or very expensive to find an analysis program that goes into this type of detail. So check out Valuate. It's a really powerful tool. CompStak, here's again these additional resources. And CompStak, again, is, as Ernie mentioned, it's really a national kind of crowdsourcing of commercial comps. I mean, because you have commercial listings within MLS listings, you'll see, closed information as well. But with the national platforms, those are active properties. But sometimes it's more difficult to find commercial comps. So CompStak can be very valuable there. As well, this is where you'll see these multiple listings, and you'll see the check mark on the listing that I am viewing currently. If I clicked here on this property, it would be on the residential side. You may see a couple of other elements, but let's take a look at what happens. So luckily, too, we see it's Dave and Eric. They are the same listing agent as we expect and hope on these listings. So if we click on the Crexy listing, you may see populated over here on the listing facts a few additional pieces of information that were entered when they entered it into the Crexy platform. So again, I love that you can toggle between the different listings that are assigned or kind of lay on top, right? That public record. And in addition to that, when you go to the listing agent information, what we've done with those national platforms is provide a link to that website on Crexy. So you will actually open up a new window. This kind of tells you you're leaving RPR, but you're not really leaving it. You're just opening another window, okay? And to save a little time, I opened up this property to Crexy, and all RPR, users can come over here and take a look at information on the Crexy website. Now, there are elements. If you happen to be a Crexy user, you can log in, and then certain elements will be opened up and displayed if you're an additional subscriber. But by not even signing in, I will see additional information that's available on the Crexy platform. And again, those items that are kind of blurred out here, that requires a sign in and maybe some enhanced features. So if you're really focused in the commercial world, you may end up signing up with a Crexy account in addition. And through the partnership with RPR and NAR, both Crexy and Brevitas have discounted rates for NAR Realtor members. So that's just kind of a look at a Crexy listing and how you can bounce out over to their site as well. So again, listing details, it shows you which listing I'm on. So let's take a look now that we've looked at this and said, I think this may be the perfect property for my investor. So you can print certain information, but let's go over and create a report. Just like on the residential side, you have the same sort of tool that allows you to create a report, see the reports that you currently have available, uptype as far as my reports. But on the commercial side, you have your property report, you have a trade area report, and a trade area analysis report. And I'm going to share with you each one of those. Remember, on every report, you can customize those. If you click on customize, you will see all the different elements that are available on the property report. And again, if tenant data on an office building is important, you can print the tenant data. And also, what has been one of the most popular on the commercial side is that we do have the traffic count information. And that's really critical to many when they're finding the right location for their business, is to have that traffic data. So that's an important piece of the regular property report. So again, I have created previously a few different property reports and trade area reports. So let's just click on the property report for Thomasina Court here. And you'll see again, the cover page is branded or would be branded to your company as well as your individual branding. You can put in additional comments, and then we're going to see a summary of information and facts, extended facts and details, everything that I kind of scrolled through and pointed out in a very organized, professional manner. Assessed values, legals, tax information, financial details, maps showing the location and some aerial views, property photos, and if there's historical photos, as this one provides, you'll see that as well. If you don't want those historical photos, remember, you can, through the customization, suppress any of those particular items. And here's the traffic count page that shows both daily counts and historical information. And you'll see icons at major thoroughfares close to your subject property that provide some key information for those looking at the commercial property. So again, the commercial property report, really valuable, but really focuses on some key factors with that report. So let's go back to Thomasina here for a second. And let's say we're looking at this particular property, and you'll notice here, of course, trade area. So the trade area data and then report really focuses on all of the consumer demographic, psychographic information that we get from Esri, who really is the largest provider of consumer spending and behavior information really within the country. And I will say that for some of you that may be commercial practitioners or even have a designation of a CCIM, they always ask, is this the same sort of data that we see in other sites like a site to do business? And some of the data is similar, but we have a very comprehensive level. So I always encourage people to take a look at all the resources available. So within Campbell, you're getting some key indicators, and then you're going to see demographic facts and stats for Campbell with, again, several charts and graphs across the board from population to age, married, income levels in this area, the economy, the commute to work, and home values in the area. So very nice summaries. And then again, Ernie mentioned tapestry data. Tapestry is really the term that Esri uses to identify a little over 70 different kind of groupings that are similar across the country in the individuals that predominantly live in that area, kind of the life mode, middle ground. And you can open up any of the information bubbles and see some additional information, but all of this is then presented on the trade area report. So you'll see here that the first predominant section or tapestry group is considered city lights. So these are fairly close to the downtown Campbell area, but you'll see it's a blend of owners and renters, single family apartments. Residents are, educated, have income. So all of this information and different groupings, you can really take a deep dive in. So whether you're working with an investor or working with a client that's looking to place a business, this type of data really provides a comprehensive summary of information about that area. And many companies spend thousands of dollars on similar marketing reports. So you have this all available to you within RPR. And then it also shows a summary in areas and zip codes close by as a comparison as well. So once within these areas, you can create a report. And again, I'm going back to my report area where I have some current reports, but then I can create this trade area report. Again, look at the different areas and I can check and uncheck those if I need. And then I can come over here again. I ran a few of these earlier. So here's a trade area report for Campbell. And again, presented with a cover sheet and contact information. But then you'll see the different summaries of groups within, with a summary of the data, median household income, ownership, what they spend their money on, activities. I mean, just a wealth of information. And then there's a more detailed page that goes into what is defined as the City Light group or the trendsetters and what percentage of population in Campbell actually are represented. So again, very comprehensive data for each one of the tapestry sections, then several charts and graphs to review as well. And then again, I think we add the all the comparison charts, and we also provide on this report the traffic counts as well. So just again, a very comprehensive professional report within the trade area report. Now you'll say too, okay, didn't I see a trade area analysis report? So once we do that, and look, here's the traffic count page, and I've had many a member say, I love the traffic count page. They'll go in and just select and print this one segment to add into some other reporting. So it's a nice quick look at that. So that's your trade area report when you're looking at a particular area. So let's go home. We've looked at, we're going to go back to the home base here. And let's say we're doing research. So the same client that you're lucky enough to be working with that wants to, purchase as an investment a multifamily property that it looks like you may have one or two winners with, they want to open up a specialty business. They've, let's say it's a bakery, a neighborhood bakery and beverage specialty shop. So they create cupcakes and cookies, and they know the demographic typically that they're looking for, and they want it to be close in that area. So you can come up right here on the homepage to research, come down to commercial site selection. And very quickly, this is where, again, we can decide to say we want to be in Campbell, California. They want to be close to where they may be living and where their other investments are. And then within assigning attributes, you can identify up to 5 different attributes to really come up with the best location for their business. And let's say that this particular business owner knows, they of course know their demographic. So we come down here to select the attributes, and you'll see who they are, what they do, where they live, what they buy, and some general facts and stats. I will tell you that each one of these options provides another wealth and summary of different attribute characteristics. So I really encourage you to get familiar with these different groups so that when you have that unique client, you know that you can go in and filter based on the attributes and zero in on the right site for them. So let's say that, again, this is a specialty bake shop, cookies, and they say, who buys from us is typically mothers, should we say soccer moms, with young families, sports, etc., with some additional monies and income to spend on some of these things. So first we're going to go in and say, hey, it's usually the moms in their 30s and 40s that are buying these baked goods and specialty items. So that's attribute number one. Then we're going to add an additional criteria. And let's say, again, we've got 30s and 40s, but who are they? Let's come down here and say, it's usually the moms. So we're going to come in here and say females and okay. And we can add additional criterias. So let's come here and say, so what do they buy? Let's take a look. So if you were going to open up a specialty wine boutique store, you could identify by alcohol and who drinks wine, believe it or not, or beer if you wanted to open up a distillery and location there. But let's say that it's maybe probably under dining out, and this is where you get familiar with some of these different categories. So just to cover the gambit, I'm going to say they typically would eat out. But look, we even have a category for like snacks. And so this is specialty locations for snacks and beverages. We're going to click OK. And remember, we've got these attributes and in Campbell, but that's a fairly large area. So we're going to then run the analysis. And with this process, you'll see an analysis panel here that you can hide or show. And the darker the area, the better the fit that meets these particular attributes that you assigned. And you can even change your geography to a broader geography, whether even down to census block groups or different neighborhoods, or you can start at just a county or a city level and start to drill down. But we have a clear winner here with San Tomas area that's in the dark purple. That's the best fit. But as we look, and if we click into this area, you'll see some stats as to those that are female, 50% in this area, and age groups, and how much they spend out at restaurants and even on specialty foods. So you can search listings in this area, view the trade area details, which we showed before. But this is kind of the working example that you may have several that fit in the best category. And so then you get a nice side-by-side comparison with each one of these attributes. So to me, this is almost a working document before you may drill down and do a trade area report. So very quickly, we can get trade area analysis report that's going to give us that nice summary. And again, to save a little time here, I had run a trade area analysis report earlier. So I'm going to come in here to Campbell. And again, trade area analysis, best place to identify business. And you'll see the overall view and area, but then it will give you that criteria for analysis, and then a summary and a comparison for all the kind of macro areas within Campbell that we used. So it's a great report, very simple, and shows a summary and definition of all that information. So between a detailed property report, the trade area analysis here, and the trade area report, you've just got a winner of being able to provide comprehensive commercial data and to be able to search and pinpoint just the type of properties that your client is really looking for on the commercial side. So I will just come back here to the homepage and again, just emphasize a few points, which is one, just make sure that you're looking and sliding over to the commercial side because your property types will be different as well as some of the other options. And here's under the more filters, not only will you see the property types that you've selected, but you will also see some additional fields that can be very important when you're trying to identify a specific type of commercial client. Maybe you're doing some prospecting. So if you look down below, again, too, if you're looking for a particular commercial property or all the properties owned in Campbell by a particular owner or company name, come right over here to these detailed filters. Or let's say you're not finding properties for sale, but maybe off-market properties where the time owned is maybe in the 10 to 15 or 15 to 20 years, where that owner may be getting ready or interested in a sale of the property. You've also got different keywords that are available. And then also very, very important is your land lot and some of the standard use codes, because many times this is where you want to come. Somebody will say, I want to buy a car wash in Campbell, California, where you can come down here and get that kind of sub property type and be able to select both of those and search based on these additional fields. So just keep that in mind. This is under more filters, your commercial property types, and also up here under if you're looking for your site to do business type of information or site selection here, just simply come right to the main menu, commercial site selection, and you'll drill right down into what you need as far as finding the best property for that commercial client. So with that, I hope that really provides a nice comprehensive look at the commercial side of RPR. And again, the data both here for you locally as well as nationwide is available to you with the commercial side of RPR. So thank you.
That is fantastic. Yeah, Andrea, Ernie, it always blows me away the breadth of your guys' data and the multiple sources, so many different sources. I mean, it's just amazing. And it's all there at the fingertips for our subscribers, thanks to you all. I really encourage our realtors to get out there, get on there. I mean, if you need information, and information really is the key to everything. Having access to information.
It's really true, Dave. And I think too, with the way that the commercial reports are presented, again, they're very, very, easy for the realtor to be that consultative, focus and partner with their clients to be able to walk them through the data. It becomes a very easy way to show them, the best location for that business.
Right. Yeah. Work smart and use that information.
Exactly.
Right when I think I know everything about RPR, you guys blow me away with.
Well, there's
all that. I tell you guys always do such a wonderful job. Right. And again, it's just amazing. I had no idea you guys had so many, partners you're pulling data from for these kind of things. This is crazy.
And, on the commercial side, it really is about collaboration with these partners to provide, the level of active properties, because many commercial practitioners are maybe looking outside of their particular market area. So you'll see properties across the country and be able to collaborate with realtors anywhere in the country to find some of those commercial properties.
It's fantastic. Yeah, no, great stuff as always. I tell you, I wish you both happy holidays coming up. And I know I'm going to see you guys again probably right in January Q1, because you guys always have something fantastic to share with us.
That's right.
So thank you so much, Ernie, Andrea. Awesome job, and hey, we'll see you guys soon.
Thank you so much. Bye.
Make sure to check out our Pro Support page for additional videos on a full range of topics, and don't forget to click that subscribe button on our MLS Listings YouTube page.